Are you aware that the Mexican-American War, a pivotal conflict in North American history, spanned from 1846 to 1848 and dramatically reshaped the continent? Its origins are deeply rooted in the United States' doctrine of manifest destiny, the belief that American expansion across the continent was both justified and inevitable. This story begins long before the first shots were fired, tracing back to the early 19th century and the growing tensions between the United States and Mexico. The seeds of conflict were sown in the aftermath of Mexican independence from Spain in 1821. Mexico, a young and struggling nation, inherited vast territories including present-day Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah, and parts of Colorado and Wyoming. These lands were sparsely populated and difficult to govern from Mexico City. Meanwhile, the United States was rapidly expanding westward. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803 had nearly doubled its size, and the spirit of expansionism continued to drive American policy. In 1820, Moses Austin, an American businessman, obtained permission from Spanish authorities to settle American families in Texas. After Mexico gained independence, his son, Stephen F. Austin, carried out this plan, leading to a significant influx of American settlers. The growing American presence in Texas led to cultural and political friction with the Mexican government. By the mid-1830s, tensions had escalated to the point of rebellion. In 1836, after a brutal conflict epitomized by the Battle of the Alamo, Texas declared its independence from Mexico. Despite losing battles like the Alamo, the Texans eventually triumphed at the Battle of San Jacinto, securing their independence. The Republic of Texas sought annexation by the United States, but political complexities delayed the process. The addition of a large slaveholding territory to the Union was a contentious issue. It wasn't until 1845, under President James K. Polk, a staunch advocate of expansion, that Texas was finally annexed, igniting Mexican anger and setting the stage for war. Polk, driven by manifest destiny, eyed further territorial expansion. He offered to purchase California and New Mexico from Mexico for $30 million, but the offer was rejected. Undeterred, Polk dispatched troops under General Zachary Taylor to the disputed territory between the Nueces River and the Rio Grande, an area claimed by both nations. On April 25, 1846, Mexican cavalry attacked a U.S. patrol, killing or wounding 16 American soldiers. Polk seized upon this incident, declaring that Mexico had shed American blood upon American soil. And Congress swiftly approved a declaration of war on May 13, 1846. The Mexican-American War was fought on multiple fronts, characterized by significant battles and campaigns. General Zachary Taylor led U.S. forces into northern Mexico, winning crucial battles at Palo Alto and Resaca de la Palma. He captured the city of Monterrey and secured a decisive victory at the Battle of Buena Vista in February 1847, despite being heavily outnumbered. Colonel Stephen W. Kearny marched from Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, to California, seizing Santa Fe without a fight. In California, American settlers, aided by U.S. Navy forces, revolted against Mexican rule in what became known as the Bear Flag Revolt. By early 1847, California was firmly under American control. The most ambitious and challenging campaign was led by General Winfield Scott. He landed at Veracruz in March 1847 and began a grueling march inland towards Mexico City. Scott's forces won a series of hard-fought battles at places like Cerro Gordo, Contreras, and Churubusco. Finally, after storming the fortified castle of Chapultepec, Scott entered Mexico City on September 14, 1847, effectively ending major hostilities. With the fall of Mexico City, the Mexican government was compelled to negotiate. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, signed on February 2, 1848, formally ended the war. The terms were significant and far-reaching. Mexico ceded approximately 55% of its pre-war territory to the United States, including present-day California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and parts of Colorado and Wyoming. The U.S. agreed to pay Mexico $15 million and assumed $3.25 million in debts owed by Mexico to American citizens. The Rio Grande was established as the southern border of Texas. The Mexican-American War had profound and lasting impacts. For the United States, it was a triumph that fulfilled manifest destiny, but it also intensified the sectional debate over the expansion of slavery, contributing to the tensions that eventually led to the Civil War. For Mexico, the war was a national trauma, resulting in significant territorial loss and internal instability. The war exacerbated political divisions and left a legacy of bitterness and distrust towards the United States. The Mexican-American War was a complex and multifaceted conflict driven by expansionist ambitions, cultural clashes, and political maneuvering. It reshaped the continent, setting the stage for future conflicts and developments. The war's legacy continues to influence U.S.-Mexico relations and remains a poignant chapter in the history of both nations.